Hello, welcome to CoastersChat. Now, this is our episode for March. Coming up, we're going to have a look at the coronavirus outbreak, how it's affecting sport, especially non-league with the expunged results. Look back at the games we played in March, and yeah, a bit more. So enjoy. So, CoastersChat, we're back for March. This week I'm joined by my fellow admin for wearefylde. It's Tyron. So, hello Tyron, how are you doing?
Hello there, I'm doing well, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. So, without any further ado, let's get straight into it. So, let's actually have a look at the games we managed to play between when we last recorded. Starting with the FA Trophy game against Harrogate. So, I'm pretty sure if you went to that game, you'll know that the wind was incredibly big in the end result of the game. 2 of the goals were wind assisted. We can't deny that. So, yeah, what are your thoughts on the game?
Well, obviously, we went 2-1, I think we did. And obviously, amazing, we all thought we were going through. But then they managed to get.
There's 2 goals.
We went 1-0 up, sorry, we went 2-1 down, but we managed to score an absolutely amazing equaliser, which obviously, hoped for another one in extra time. Great goal by Leesburg, but then unfortunately the wind helped Jack Muldoon get the winner, and we couldn't reply after that. But I think it was an alright game. We could have done better though.
Yeah, I think it's benefiting for the league being out of the FA Trophy. Yes, we went last year, and a lot of people would have wanted us to successfully defend it. But I think this, considering what's happening this season, the league has to be the priority.
Yeah, I agree, sir.
Yeah. The following Tuesday, we had a home game against Notts County, which I think can be summed up by missed chances at our end of the net. They had, I think, 3 shots on target and scored 2, so it was a poor showing from Wild.
Yes.
Especially at the top end of the pitch.
Yeah, I feel like we could have done better. We should have. Disappointing not to get the equaliser. We probably could have won that game as well. Obviously, could only score 1 though, and it is what it is. Football, it's unpredictable. Anything can happen.
Yeah. Well, Jordan Williams' goal was class. He always scores for us. It seems at the moment. Our defence from set pieces, which we conceded from 2 of them in the game, was poor all over the shop.
Yeah, it needs to be improved, but don't matter. But I have no idea what it needs to be improved.
Yeah. Moving on to the goalless draw with Solihull Moors. First clean sheet in yonks, I think, which is good for the defence. Shows we're shipping a lot in our last few games. First clean sheet for, I think it goes back to a game against Wrexham on it was our first clean sheet since the FA Trophy first round against Kers and Ashton.
Oh, it was Lewis's debut, wasn't it? I think, which helped.
Which game was it?
Lewis came through.
Chances in the Solihull game, few and far between, I'd say.
Yeah.
Williams had a shot tipped onto the bar by their keeper. It could have gone in, that. But yeah, that was pretty much all happened in the Solihull game. And then a star was born in Alex Whitmore, or I call him Stokesy because of the resemblance to Ben Stokes, the cricketer he has. But they deserved that so much, though, winning Dagon Red. I think they showed good character, do you think, as well, to come back, especially as Dagon Red had equalised?
Yeah, I think, Tom Walker got the first goal in the 48th minute. But Mark Wundle scored 10 minutes before full time, and a lot of teams, after the 93rd minute, after not scoring, they would have given up. But, I mean, it was a good goal from Whitmore, off his head. It showed very good character, because I think most teams, after that point, would have given up and just stopped trying, really.
Oh, yeah, certainly. Yeah, it shows our determination. The scenes at full time just summed it up, really. You see how much it means to the squad as well. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, this is our most previous game to date. A 1-0 against Aldershot. Not the most classic, but it's a win. Danny Phillips-Kirk was brilliant. He got the winning goal, penalty rebound, and it was yet another clean sheet at home. With Josh Lillis, since he's come in, he's played 3 games and kept 2 clean sheets.
It's good to be fair. 6% clean sheet rate.
It is, they had a few chances as well. Panatayu and Craig Tan had shots saved or cleared off the line. But yeah, there wasn't a classic game. I think we can all say that. There was a decent crowd on because it was after all the Football League had been suspended. Alex Whitmore, do you remember that headed goal line clearance he made, the diving header?
Yes.
That was brilliant. Shows, I think, with winning at Dagenham Red, there's a lot more desire now.
Because obviously, with the 3 points, I think we still got 3 games in hand over Ebbsfleet.
2, I believe, yeah. So we've got 2 games in hand over Ebbsfleet. None on we've played the same amount of games as Wrexham, who are just above the dotted line. But Chesterfield have played a game less than, as well as Maidenhead, Chorley and Ebbsfleet. So yeah.
Yeah, with 2 games in hand over Ebbsfleet and 3 points behind. So obviously games in hand, as you say a lot, they're only good if you win them. But if we were to win both of those games in hand, we would be at least 21st.
Yeah. I have to say, one of Aldershot's players has a brilliant name. The number 17, his name was like Giuliano Van Velzen. Names like that remind me of like fast pacey winger, especially Enzio Boldivine of Notts County. He's got a brilliant name as well. So we're here now. That's what has happened since in football on the pitch wise since we've last recorded. But now it's the main event, really. What has happened off the pitch in the form of coronavirus. So, if you don't really know, you probably should by now. But all the leagues below the National League North and South, they've been wiped out, null and void. They do not exist anymore. Hashtag United and Spencer FC made a big cry about it. It's ended up today with 66 clubs sending an open letter to the FA, trying to get them to reconsider their decision. What do you think about the decision, Tyron?
I see why they've done that. Obviously, lives are a lot more important. I think 4,000 people have died now in the UK alone, which is a massive number and it shouldn't be happening. Obviously, safety comes before everything. So I can see why they have decided to just cancel the season outright, but I can also see why some teams may be annoyed at those decisions, especially, if they're top of the table, definitely going to win the league. But I don't think they should complain much because, as I said, at the end of the day, safety should come first.
Yeah. Let's just have a quick listen to Jim Bentley's thoughts after that home win against Aldershot.
7 points out of 9 this week, kind of the best week you could have had, really, isn't it?
Yeah, what the doctor ordered. I think we had a good week. Seems like ages ago now when we played Dagenham and Wrexham. We had the cup game as well, and we got the 3 victories. We wanted 3 victories this week. We've had where I've been quite positive and complimentary about how we've gone about our jobs with regards to how we've been playing. Don't think we've got the results that we've deserved for one reason or another. But the Dover game was one of them games where you can get away from you. It happens at any level, every season, and that was our game where you come away absolutely scarred by it, frustrated, angry, and really concerned, because that was the one moment where it really kicked in that you're thinking we can't accept this. So we've had large discussions and meetings. The club have been great, backing us with certain things, and we've laid down a plan and like a mini league table, if you like. And again, we can't keep going on about what's gone on. It's all about the future. We've got to be positive. We've got to man up. We've got to embrace the challenge. We've got to give it our all. All those cliches, all those sayings of rolling your sleeves up and coming out fighting, that's what we've got to do. And as it is at the minute, the games that we're playing are not pretty. It's not our brand. I think we've proven in large spells this season since we've come in You know, we can play better football than what we're playing at the minute, but we've got to find a way of winning. You know, the weather dictates, the pitch dictates, and ultimately, you know, when we sat down, we had that meeting, 12-game plan. Let's get off to a flyer. We wanted to win against Solihull last week, but I do think it was a massive point in the end. It broke the cycle, it got us a point, it got us a clean sheet that gives everyone a shot in the arm. It was important that we never lost that game, you know, because of the situation that we're in, obviously. And I think that was I got a nice vibe about the place. Yeah, it was all hands to the pump second half, and it was very, very difficult to get out with the wind and how Solihull played and things like that. But it was a hard-earned point, and sometimes it just takes a point to change the cycle, and that's what it's done, because it sets us up for Tuesday. Tuesday sets us up for today, and now we've got 7 points from 9. So really positive week for us, big week for us. But that's all it is. It's a big week for us that's gone. It's all about what lies ahead now. So we look forward to the challenges that lie await, and come out fighting and show the same spirit, desire, determination, togetherness, all those things that were evident today and Tuesday and last Saturday. And to be fair, large spells since we've been here. But what we seem to be doing at the minute, if there is a mistake made, someone's getting round. You know, Ryan Croasdale Tuesday night got a superb last-ditch tackle in after Josh Lewis made a save. Josh had made a save first half at a critical time today, and Tyler French has got round and made an equally good save. So they're just as big as just as big as making opportunities and taking goals at the other end. So we've found a way. It's not nice, not pretty, but the big thing is the 3 points at the end of the day. So we're really pleased about that.
So yeah, those were the thoughts of Jim Bentley after the 1-0 win over Aldershot. We'll go back now to the topic of coronavirus. We see that the other non-league results have been wiped out. Do you think that could happen to the National League?
I think it could. I think there's a possibility, because obviously if nobody's getting promoted to the National League North and South, and nobody will get relegated, it would be hard, and obviously if the Football League as well does get declared null and void, then they wouldn't really have much choice. But I do think as long as the Football League continues to play, the National League will too.
Yeah. It said here that the National League, they do want to continue, but if they have to, they will close down the season. So I think in this situation, you have to feel such for clubs. Jersey Bulls, for example, they had 100% record still, but they've been denied promotions. As had Vauxhall Motors had already been promoted as well. So it's you feel for them, don't you?
Yeah, obviously Jersey Bulls, it was already mathematically impossible for anyone to beat them to the title. That was since a very long time ago. So obviously I see why they would be annoyed, but I think the right thing to do would just be to do it again next season. Like, you know, maybe you won't get as good of a record, but if you're really that good, then you should be winning next season. Well, obviously players will move. Players, you know, they will have different teams, but that would happen mid-season anyways. So I don't think it really is a time. There's a time and a place to complain, and this isn't that time.
Yeah. So what? Also on the topic of coronavirus, do you have taken a 50% wage cut? Everyone at the club, so that's off the field stuff as well as the players. Just touching on back on Fylde now. It's just who do you think that we signed not in the summer transfer window has made the biggest impact?
I don't know. Sorry, did you say who do you think has made the biggest impact?
Yeah, who's made the biggest impact to the squad that wasn't signed in the summer? It's like January.
I don't know, you know. It's a tough one there, to be fair.
Who?
It's a tough one. It's hard. Obviously, Tom Walker, he's came in. He's
made a big difference.
And then Lewis as well, obviously, you know, 2 clean sheets, 3 games. He obviously helps massively with the win over Aldershot. But I think it's tied between Tom Walker and Lewis, to be fair.
Yeah, I think as well. I think same as you. Tom Walker's contributed with assists and goals. Obviously, the one on his debut against Torquay was brilliant. But yeah, it's goals like the ones he scored against Dagon Red. Those are the ones that are probably going to mean a lot more, because I think the mentality surely has to be at the moment. They don't matter how they win as long as they win.
Yeah. As long as we win, I don't care how we do it. As long as, for all I care, we could get a goal in the first minute and defend for the rest of the game. We've won. If we stay up, I don't care how we do it, but as long as we stay up, I'll be happy, personally.
Yeah. Oh yeah, certainly. It's the stage of the season. When we do resume, we currently are in it, but when we resume the season, we're in that stage where results have to come over performance. No matter where you are in the table, results have to come over performance.
Yeah. We need to perform well. We need to perform well. We need to get the win. No stupid defensive errors or anything. We need to, be clean in defence. Get goals, and we just need to make sure we don't lose any leads we get, like we have done so often this season already.
Yeah. So this is on. We're bouncing here, but this is back on the coronavirus situation. It's quite well known that Gundogan has said he won't mind if Liverpool win the title. Do you think Liverpool should get the title if the season's abandoned?
Well, I'm not sure because it's not certain that they'd win the league already. I see why teams like we said earlier, Jersey Bulls would want the title, but I don't know. I think if the season is abandoned,
yeah,
I don't think Liverpool should get it personally because it's not definite that they would win the league. It's still possible for a different team to win. It's still possible for Manchester City to take the title.
It'd take a miracle because Liverpool would have to pretty much lose all their games and Man City would have to win all of them remaining.
You say that, but there is still technically a chance. I think if it was already mathematically impossible for Liverpool to lose the title, then they should get it. But it's not. There's still a possibility. However low it might be, there is still a possibility that Liverpool could lose it. So I think for that reason they shouldn't get the title unless it's restarted and they win it on points anyway.
Yeah. This is more news on coronavirus. It involves the National League. So it's the National League leaders, Barrow. They could be depending on whether they can get into the EFL or not, may go to a vote, said the directors, Levi, who has the same last name as me. They're 4 points clear of Harrogate, and they're looking for a return after not winning re-election in 1972. So, what do you think of that? Should Barrow go up or not?
Once again, there's still games in hand. They're 4 points clear, so it's still. I feel like if it's going to a vote and the National League clubs vote for them to win the league, then then obviously you can't really complain because it's a majority rules. But personally, once again, I think that they shouldn't give it to them unless it's obviously voted in favour for them to win, or it restarts and they then win the league after that.
Yeah, so the vote will be done by the National League by an independent jury, so not by clubs, or it could be decided by taking the current standings or doing a points per game ratio if they can't finish fixtures. Personally, I don't think points per game is fair. Look at Eversley; they're 4 points ahead of us, but they've played 2 more games. Think of it, two wins for us, and we go above them. So yeah. It's a sticky situation. We've never seen anything like this. Not even relatives of mine known anything like this. I'd say it's the same for you.
As you said, I don't think a points per game table would be completely fair.
Yeah. Look at Barnet. They've played the least amount of games in the league. They've only played 35, whereas Hartlepool have played 4 more games.
Yeah. Which obviously that would be Barnet would then have they're only 1 point behind, so Barnet would then finish ahead of Hartlepool, even though Hartlepool have technically got more points.
Yeah.
They've worked hard for that one. It may not be 1 extra point, but they've worked for that 1 extra point. So it would be annoying Hartlepool staff in the club, even though it's only 9th position, they could think, like, obviously the table could go down as them finishing a lot lower than they have actually finished points-wise.
Yeah. So yeah, now we're going to move on to a brand new feature for this, and so it is look in depth at the supporters. Tyron, you're going to be our first guest on it. So your first guest is what was your first match you went to?
Well, I think we had this conversation the other day actually.
Oh yeah, we did, didn't we?
I don't remember my first match because I was quite young at the time. I mean, I only learned about wearefylde like maybe 5-6 years ago. So I was quite young at the time of my first match. So it was a game at Calum. I went to a few games before we moved to Mill Farm. But my first game at Mill Farm, I think it was a 1-0 loss to Leighton Orient.
Yeah. What has been your best memory of supporting Fylde?
Probably the playoff win against Harrogate last season. No, sorry, forgot. FA Trophy win. FA Trophy win at Wembley. Got about that from Hannah.
It's got to be. I'd say, for me personally, it's either that FA Trophy win or we go back to the 18th of March 2017. I think a lot of Fylde fans will say it's probably the most celebrated goal ever scored on the terraces, and that was Matt Blinkhorn's 97th minute equaliser against Kidderminster. Absolute jubilation in the home end. I've never seen such joy at a football match. So that leads me on to the next question. What's been your favourite goal you've ever celebrated?
Oh, that's a hard one, you know. It was Daniel Bradley's goal against Hartlepool. Harrogate. That was a good one. Obviously, Danny Rowe's goal at Wembley as well. That was another good one that I celebrated a lot. So I think it's maybe one of those two.
Yeah. What does supporting AFC Fylde mean to you?
Well, obviously, I've not missed many games, and the only games that I have missed have been due to an illness or if they're away games. My parents won't let me go to away games, unfortunately. But I think it means a lot. I've been, even the games that I've not been able to go to, I've listened to the commentary, and it means... That's a hard question to answer, I'm going to be honest. It means a lot, I think that's all I can really say.
Okay. Which player would you say is your favourite?
Favourite player? At the moment, maybe Alex Whitmore.
Yeah.
He's done well. Maybe Tom Walker.
Yeah. And your favourite player of all time you've seen at Fylde?
All time. Oh, that's a lot. I think I might have to go with Danny Rowe for that.
Yeah, I think it's the obvious choice. He's a club legend. To be able to score the amount of goals he has, and he's been with us much less than the time the second place Richie Allen, I think it's a testament to his game. He was a lot less productive for us as he came to the end of his time here, but I think his 50-goal season in our promotion season is, I don't think you're not going to top it anytime soon.
Yeah, he's the club's all-time top goal scorer as well, I think, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Yes, obviously, he's been very big for the club in recent times. Obviously, this season he dropped off a bit. Obviously, the move to Aldershot, and I believe he's done quite well at, not Aldershot, Oldham. I believe he's done quite well at Oldham, I think. But yeah, he's been a good player for us in the past few years, and he's been massive.
Yeah. Well, Robbie, he did do God's work. He did score an equaliser for Oldham at Salford, so cheers for that, Robbie. But yeah, now this is another new feature because we would usually have a look at all the National League news at this point. We're going to now have a look at in-depth at the number 9 shirt and look at the players that have held it over the past few years. So let's go right back to 2012. Our number 9 at that point, obviously it was a 1-11 basis. The main number 9 was a lad called Adam Farrell, who I believe after that had spells at I think he had spells at he had definitely had one at Telford. But yeah, he scored quite a few goals for Fylde. Probably the most notable one of the most notable ones was against FC United of Manchester, that was a record attendance for Fylde at the time. He currently plays for, according to Transfer Market, he Trafford FC. He signed for Fylde from, I believe, Kendal Town on July the 1st, 2012. We now go on to our next, number 9. You should remember this guy, Tyron. Matt Blinkhorn.
Yes.
Yeah, he scored that crucial goal against Kidderminster. He scored a lot of goals for us at the end of that season. One against Bradford Park Avenue, then one the last day against Ulster City. Matt Blinkhorn, funny enough, actually, he scored the first ever Fylde goal I saw. In my first game, he scored the opening goal, a 2-0 win for Fylde. Yeah, he's I believe now at Lancaster. Yes, he is. And he's had in between that. He's now coaching roles at Blackpool. Before he signed for us, he played for Blackpool, Morecambe, Sligo Rovers, York City, and Hyde FC. I think he's scored quite a lot of important goals in his time, hasn't he?
Yes, yeah. Good goal.
That Kidderminster one is up there, certainly. So the next number 9 for Fylde was, of course, our record goal scorer of all time, Danny Rose. What do you think of him now? What the impact he's had on the club?
Obviously, as I said earlier, he scored a lot of very big goals. Maybe most notably that free kick against Leyton Orient at Wembley in the FA Trophy final. It was a very good goal. I was lucky enough to be at the game.
Yeah.
But obviously, he's done wonders for the club.
He has.
And obviously, the sale, it was sad, really, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously, he's got a good move towards them. He'll be able to achieve more there, maybe. But yeah, so obviously he did kind of drop off and fall in recent times, at the start of this season. But he still scored a few goals for us.
Yeah.
Obviously, winner against Ebbsfleet at the start of the season was a penalty, but he still won us the game. But he's done big things for the club.
Yeah, I think he probably didn't. The fashion that he left in probably wasn't the best for his legacy to stay. But funny story, he used to do at my primary school. He used to come in and do coaching, which was quite funny. I remember we came in one day after he'd scored an own goal, which gave the opposition a win. And so I can remember saying to him, "What was that with the own goal?" And he said he tried blaming it on someone else. Which made me laugh inside. Yeah, he was. I think he fits him in non-league. He was maybe not the loudest with the fans. He wasn't the most active with the fans. But if you have to refer to, he'd give it you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now.
Sorry, go on.
Right. So now we move on to our current number 9, Jamie Proctor. I wouldn't say he's had the biggest impact so far. He has scored a goal away at Eastleigh. I think he's more on holding up the ball a lot more. You can see his in some of the times off the ball. You can see his League One quality, but other times I think you can question how he's at the National League level. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can remember having a joke on the text with a mate saying, I can just picture him just Cruyff turning the entire team and then putting it in the car park. But yeah, he's a good player. He's local lad. He's played for a whole load of clubs. He's played in Championship, scored in the Championship for Preston. He's played for Fleetwood in the area, Scunthorpe, and Rotherham. I've got a quote from him here. This is the programme from the Aldershot game. This is him talking about the Dagenham game. He said, "It was just relief enjoying one big moment. That's what everyone has said. we felt it was coming as we've been playing well and had spells in games where we should have finished teams off. It's been tough because as much as you try to keep your head up and remain confident as the games go by, you start thinking, when is this going to come? When is this going to happen? When are we going to get this piece of luck? I think Tuesday was that little bit of luck that we needed. Could have gone either way, but we got the last minute goal, and now it's important to take that into the remaining games to try and get ourselves on the run we need to go on. I think what you take from that is talking about how that one victory can give us momentum, how it can spur us on to try and stay up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, obviously, I agree with that. Obviously, we were supposed to originally, I know this is last month, we were originally supposed to have Notts County after the Southport game, which we won by a lot of goals. So I was hoping that the momentum from that win would, spur us on to beat Notts County and give us a good game, but unfortunately got postponed a few times and we ended up losing. I'm not saying we might not have lost if we played it originally because the pitch was absolutely terrible.
Oh, yeah.
I see what he means with the momentum.
Yeah, I think, he's got the nail on it that you need that. Every team, if you want to do well in a league, you need luck. And I think he summed it up by saying Tuesday night, the other Tuesday night, Dagenham was our piece of luck, and boy, it helped us.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to just add before we sign off?
No, I think I'm finished.
I think that'll just about wrap it up for this month's episode of CoastersChat. So make sure you follow us. Do you want people following you personal?
I forgot. I don't actually know it, I'll have to have a quick check.
I'll give you my details. On my Instagram personal is private, but my Twitter is public, so go give me Twitter a follow if you're on there. Make sure you're following us at wearefylde. Make sure you're subscribed on the YouTube as well. If you want more, go to the Instagram page. We've got one for the podcast, at CoastersChat Podcast. When Tyron returns with his details, I think that'll just about wrap us up.
My personal is Tyron, Tyron _06_. I don't have any other social medias other than YouTube, which I don't upload on. So all I can say now is thanks for having me, Calum.
Alright, so I'll just say my Twitter is at CalumGill24. So I think that'll just wrap up everything we've had on the show this week. So thanks Tyron for being on.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. And thanks for listening. We'll see you again next month. Goodbye.
Bye.